Hello and welcome to MIT. If you're gearing up to tackle the New Zealand Certificate in Automotive Engineering Level 3, we've gone through all the program guidelines to build you the ultimate roadmap. We're going to break down the exact requirements, the real expectations and the specific tools you need to succeed. The goal is that by the time you step into that workshop on day one, you are fully fueled up and absolutely ready to go. Okay, let's dive right into this. We have 6 quick pit stops to make on our journey today. We'll start with a brief welcome, take a really hard look at the full-time commitment required, map out your courses and learning methods, show you how to navigate your digital dashboard or canvas, introduce you to your student support and funding pit crew, and then finally run through a highly practical day one checklist. You know, the path to becoming an automotive engineer is not just a flat highway. It's a journey with curves, hills, and more than just a few bumps along the way. But the good news is you're not navigating it alone. You're going to be guided by Principal Lecturer Bob Morton and a really dedicated team of senior lecturers and experts. We're talking about guys like Trevor, Bikram, Daryl, JP, John Mark and others. Think of them as your personal navigators. They have built this incredibly structured journey specifically to your final destination, which is graduation. Moving right along to section 2, the full-time commitment, or as we like to call it, fueling your studies. Because let's face it, you can't run an engine on empty. The program guidelines hit us with a firm reality check straight off the start line. They explicitly state that studying full-time is the same as doing a full-time job. The course is definitely not something you fit into the cracks of your weekend. It demands your focus, your energy, and a massive chunk of your week. So, why do we call it a full-time job? Well, because the baseline expectation is 40 hours of dedication every single week. Let's actually break down the math of that. You're expected to be in practical lectures 16 to 20 hours a week, but that's only the half story. You're also expected to spend another 16 to 20 hours a week on self-directed study. That means doing quizzes, reading lecture content and grinding out those assignments. Add all that up and you're looking at 32 to 40 hours of weekly commitment. Now, the guidelines do address the elephant in the room, working while studying. We completely understand that many of you need to, pay the bills, and we strongly recommend part-time work only. And here, the golden rule you absolutely cannot break: do not let your work hours overlap with your class times. Your education has to take the driver's seat. Okay, so let's shift gears and look at how exactly this is all going to happen in section 3, courses and learning methods. Your curriculum is basically split into 2 distinct lanes. First, you have your 28 theory modules. This is done online via Canvas and is strictly monitored by staff, and, this is absolutely crucial, it must be completed before you're even allowed to touch the tools. Then you have your 26 practical modules. These happen on site in the MIT workshops, and let me be clear here, practical attendance is 100% compulsory. The sessions run Monday to Friday from 8 till 4 or 3 till 9. If you're in that morning session, it starts at 8 AM sharp. Lateness is literally not tolerated. So unless you've invented a time machine, you really do need to get your drop-offs, trains and bus times all sorted. So what do you need to do to get across the finish line? The roadmap is straightforward, but man, it is demanding. Step 1. Pass all your theory assignments. Step 2. Pass all your practical assignments. Step 3. You must achieve a 100% score to successfully pass the program. Yeah, 100%. There is no close enough in automotive engineering. If you leave a bolt loose in a customer's brake system, close enough just isn't going to cut it, right? This 100% requirement is to make sure you're fully competent and safe to step out into the industry. To achieve that perfect 100%, you're going to need to master your tools, and that brings us to section 4, navigating Canvas, which is essentially your digital dashboard. Canvas is the learning management system that acts as the central hub for your whole academic life. It's where you'll find your lecture notes, where you'll take your online quizzes, and where your lecturers will be actively keeping an eye on your participation. You can, and definitely should, download the Canvas app to your phone to keep your studies right there in your pocket. Canvas also ties into your practical work through its calendar feature. Remember those compulsory MIT workshop sessions just talked about? You don't just show up randomly. You actually use the calendar tool to book the practicals you're going to attend. This really puts the responsibility of time management squarely into your own hands. But you're not doing this alone. Let's look at Section 5, Student Support and Funding. Seriously, think of these guys as your personal pit crew. The School of Automotive takes pastoral care incredibly seriously. They're all about building a culture based on feeling happy, awesome, safe, supported and respected. You'll actually have a dedicated staff member doing fortnightly checks on you, just to make sure you're keeping on track. If you start slipping behind, they're not just going to let you fall. They'll be contacting you to find out what the issues are and get you back up to pace. You can also drop them a message online anytime, or just utilise the drop-in sessions, no appointment necessary. They are completely there to help you win. Part of that pit crew support extends to your wallet and your well-being too. There are multiple funding options to help take the financial pressure off. We're talking StudyLink, student loans, youth guarantee, MPTT and fees free for your last year of study. Also, a quick but important note. If you have a learning difficulty, a health issue or a disability that might affect your participation, please note it on your application. Disability Services team is ready and waiting to assure you get the exact help you need to thrive. Okay, so we're rounding the final corner now. Section 6, your Day 1 checklist. Before you even think about touching an engine block in the MIT workshop, you need your PPE, or personal protective equipment. You are required to have a sturdy pair of steel toe-cap safety boots and a proper set of overalls. The school's biggest piece of advice here? Shop around and find boots and overalls that are comfortable, because you're going to be basically living in them. No boots or overalls means no entry to the workshop. No exceptions. Next step is your tech. Because so much of this program relies on blended learning, you absolutely must bring your own device. Specifically, you need a Windows laptop to handle those Canvas modules and quizzes. On top of that, you need a smartphone with a working camera. You're going to be using your phone constantly in the workshop, taking photos and videos for your reflections and to digitize all your job cards. Now, if you're looking at that laptop requirement and starting to sweat over the cost, the school has actually set up a massive lifesaver here. They have partnered with Insight Technology to offer highly affordable refurbished laptops. You can grab a pre-owned Windows 10 machine with an i5 processor, 8 GB of RAM and a solid-state drive starting from only $250. It'll even come with 3 months warranty. All you have to do is use the code MITTECH10 if you're ordering online, or just mention your study ID when you contact them. It's a fantastic way to check off the tech requirements without emptying your bank account. So we've laid out the entire map for you. We've talked about the 40-hour week, those strict 8 AM starts, the mandatory online theory, and the absolutely non-negotiable requirement of scoring 100% to graduate. You know the tools, you've met your support pit crew, and you have the Day 1 checklist. The only thing left is to ask yourself, are you truly ready to commit 100% to this journey? Have a think about that. Get your gear sorted, and we'll see you in the workshop.